Mary Davies on the Isle of Wight in sunny England. The sun has just disappeared behind the clouds. But she has these beautiful plantings on the front wall. Yes, and this is McKinley. And right next door we have Garfield. The yellow ones and the red ones?
They're all the same. They're all polyanthus.
All polyanthus. Right. Well, we're going to go on into the rear garden.
Yep. Pink bush is a Daphne. It smells beautiful.
I like your big bell, rather your big lamp in your doorway. Where did you acquire that?
It was here. It was hanging in the hall.
Really?
Yep.
And you put it in there. What is that, off a ship?
Yep.
Really? That was a ship's light?
Yep. Masthead light. The gate in the side passage.
The gate in the side, well, that I understood. I mean, the side passage has always been here.
That's right.
But the gate is new.
Yes, just before I came to America. Orchard willow.
It looks tortured. It's falling down.
When I went, well, it's not planted yet. When I went to the flower club 2 or 3 weeks ago, I won a raffle with an arrangement of flowers with that in. And it's growing roots in the jug, and when I've got my new flower border made, I'm going to plant it in the middle.
And we're looking into the kitchen.
You're looking into the kitchen. And if you just swing right a little way, you see the shower room window, and then into the conservatory, which perhaps give Betty a little more idea as to how the layout is.
Cold frame.
Yeah.
What's the difference between a hot bed and a cold frame?
Well, you have heat in a hot bed, and this is cold.
I was just checking you out.
This is the barbecue, and I've got a shelf over the top of it. It took Anthony hours and hours to do that brickwork. He's never done brickwork before, but he's made a very good job of it. It is absolutely vertical and absolutely horizontal.
Right.
On a sloping site, that was quite clever. It smells horrible, but looks very pretty.
It is attractive. And this table and chair set that you have, this garden set, that's new since I was here.
Yes, I bought that last summer. It's nice, isn't it?
Lovely.
And then this is where the new path is going to go, you see. And here, the path will go also across the front of the barbecue.
Mm-hmm.
And then we're going to put electricity out of the window here, under the concrete here. You know, we have to channel out.
Right, so you can plug in out here for...
Yeah, under the path, right the way down and into the summer house.
We have nothing in the summer house
No.
right now. Well, that will be nice. That will
So
be
while it's
helpful.
up, then it will all get wide.
You want to describe the workings of this path and the circuitous route that it's taking and how you're going to...
Well, the path used to go straight the way down, and I've started to dig it out, put a curve in it, and then Ian helped me to build the rose arch there at the bottom the last time he came. And I've bought 2 roses to put in.
See the nice still I have on that while you're talking?
That's nice.
And what you're saying is going into it, but that takes care of that's part of it, except those things we want to concentrate on. I'll take the still off when we get ready to wait. We got to do this.
Doesn't want to stay. Shove that in. There's a wedge.
This has been growing all winter.
Yep, there's purple sprouting broccoli, and Rick and I'll have some with our salmon tonight.
That will be great.
And then this is honeysuckle. This is a climbing rose I bought last year, which will train on here. And here I've got another climbing rose that I took from a cutting in Birkenhead, which I'm going to put some more trellis to go that way.
When I realized there was really nothing here when you came here.
No.
And you've done so much in just the short time you've
2
been
years,
here.
yes.
Right. Proves it can be done.
And then you see we've trimmed this back so that we keep it small. You can see where we've had big branches off.
Oh yes.
And this was a very big conifer, sort of 3
The
times
one
the height of the stump.
It's certainly a nice home for that birdhouse.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And this I love.
Oh yeah.
Could you hold that up because I can't read it.
What I'll do.
Yeah. The dawn of the morn for glory, the hush of the night for peace in the garden at eve, says the story.
God walks and his smile brings release.
And I remember you and Mary reading off you and Betty reading off the names of the states.
All the way
there
up
in
the steps,
Louisiana,
yes.
yeah.
Yes, it's in a
Okay.
pot there,
I
beside
can
the
see that,
forsythia.
yeah.
And there's another one I
And the
put in
forsythia
last...
is the yellow plant.
Yep.
Very-
And then I've got a clematis coming up here, and another one there, and another climbing rose there.
Right. It's going to be nice. And we
And,
have to...
and then the path will be laid. If you come this way, Rick, I can probably show you what it's going to look like. See, it's going to be in a sort of herringbone pattern.
Oh, yes. You were just doing that for demonstration
Yeah,
purposes. Right?
well, we were trying to work out how wide it would be when it
Right.
was finished.
Oh,
So I have to cut them, you see, to fit in the little places.
Oh, yes, of course. Oh, that's a shame that you have to do that, though. There's no way of getting around that.
No, but you just cut the odd ones in half here and there.
We're momentarily going to be departing for the club. No, for the
Sailing club.
Sailing club.
Yep.
Right. This is not the club you were at, but it's a new club, right?
That's right.
Have you been a member of that before or not?
Yeah. Oh, only since I came down here. To
Right.
live. It's only been going 20 years. Oh, that's nice, Rick. I go to make the tea and I still have the last lot from the day before in there.
Isn't that delightful? Now, what do? You use what you have in there, or you dump
No,
it
I
out?
gotta wash the garden with it. It's good compost.
Oh, that's true too, isn't it? As a blast of cold air hits me, I think it's getting colder out.
It is. The wind's getting much
Really?
colder. By next winter, I hope to have fitted a little bit of secondary glazing.
And there's the young lady herself,
Oh, yes.
proudly observing as I do my appointed chore
Panning.
at 4:35 on Sunday,
The...
the 7th.
Is it? Oh,
Is
yes,
this
yes, it is.
the 7th of April, 1991.
That's horrifying.
And we were in church this morning. We want the world to know.
I went to...
Now, we did not go to the coffee after church. So we'll save that for another time,
Because you went to a wedding party.
which was much more fun.
It was good though, wasn't it?
Right, it was.
You can tell her that the material I bought to make the blinds was bought to match the mats and towels she gave me.
Well, you're right here.
Yeah.
You're telling her yourself.
And the cushion covers. See? See?
Right, and there's the mats.
And the door curtain with a beautiful tie back, etc.
It's an instant hot water heater. It's absolutely incredible. We should have these in the States.
Well, you should buy a travelling jug in London that will work on American electricity, because Carola has one.
Can you get one like this?
Well, not quite as big.
Instant heat.
Yeah, they're not quite as big, but they have the element inside.
I'll try to find one when I'll try Spencer's on my
See?
way back tomorrow.
Boots and places like that.
Boots would have one.
Yeah.
Oh, Betty would love that. Rather than all of that electricity that we're wasting at the present time. This is from the kitchen.
I can put lights on
yeah.
if you need more light.
I don't think that will be necessary.
There's lots of them were up in the loft when I moved in. So I put one on each side, and then I bought this reading and put it on to make like false panels, to make a feature of this like alcove that was here.
It was clever. That really
And
was.
I'm intending to do it in the archway on the landing as well.
You should get into interior design.
No, I'm
You
quite
have a
happy
few-
doing it for myself. I don't have time to do all I want to do for myself.
You'd have a future in it, really.
Yeah, well. So, let's put some light on.
We won't need it, Mary.
If you come and look at the thimble collection, I can show you the ones I got in America.
Would you comment on?
I was going to say, you know those I bought in America in an antique place? They're there.
Well, I'm moving right in on them.
And that's another one I bought in New Orleans, and that I bought in Washington.
Uh-huh.
Have you got any
Young lady that came.
Oh, good. No, I have now. I'll get Susan's on the storage. No, you can take those right away to the cottage.
This is the sideboard for this plate collection. A little crowded, but nonetheless.
I've just painted to like scenic white. So there's lots of little.
Rick and I were up fairly early and we went for a walk.
I just took a risk.
Yeah.
Because it looked, just when I was finishing, there were a few dots. Because I should have tied the knot onto the boy. And I brought it back. So I thought in this wind it might
Shade. Wouldn't shade that quickly, Jennifer.
It's not very heavy, is it?
No.
So I ought to go and look.
No, she's fine. She looks beautiful and she's
She looked nice and shiny.
very pretty.
Oh, that's good.
Anyway,
The colour's not much different, is it?
No.
This is Mary's little Hondo. Hondo, right?
Do you want us to reverse out and you'll come and get in when we've done it then?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Mary is going to reverse out, and I will join her after she has done it. And we are away. Jennifer, Mary, and the cameraman.
So you can see through
I
it.
still haven't seen the scar, no?
Try your horn.
Floating.
And this is the Delight,
This is Delight.
right?
And then
And you see Delight. No, it's still dark.
I'm going to put some. Oh, it's me again. I'm going to put some tape around here, you see, and then it'll.
Something blue on you there.
Oh,
I think she's going to shoot me momentarily with the boat in the background.
That's right.
Sanding and you varnished?
Yeah, 2 coats.
2 coats of varnish. And now you've got to work all the fittings, right? They're all secure. I mean, they're all bolt through and everything, aren't they?
Yeah, it's a strong boat.
Oh, I can tell by looking at it.
Their own design.
Oh, I know. You can peek if you put the ladder here.
This is a clinker boat.
Peek
Yeah.
in there.
And this is the boat which they're going to take around the coast to
Brixham.
Brixham, to a sail-in, which is comparable to a fly-in.
It's much better. I just when the bottom's done,
She looks super. Yes. You've got a nice waterline this time, Dee.
Much better. Isn't it?
Yes. Yes, so that's there.
It's got measles. So I'll put the tape on, but if I do it tomorrow, it'll be too soon for the top side.
Boats here at the boatyard.
Did pictures for me, didn't he? Of the
Yeah.
really super pictures of the launching. When we came to take it, we missed the tide at the lunchtime, and she was tied alongside the quay there. And so Tony, who was the engineer who'd done the engine, he wanted to come on sea trials. So he said he would come at 5 o'clock the next morning if I did. And so we got up at 4 and we go down here at 5. And at 5:05 I fell in.
You
Slipped.
fell off the pier or
I
off the
fell
boat?
off the boat into the water.
Well, it wasn't deep, was it?
I had to swim.
Did you?
Oh yeah, I had to swim. And by the time I'd driven home and got back, the tide had gone out so fast that we'd touched bottom. We had to wait till lunchtime. So Jennifer was able to come. She'd finished work. We had a good trip back, didn't we? It was lovely. Well, after a very good trip back, the next night Jennifer cooked a lovely supper and brought it out on the boat with John.
It's a little on the hazy side.
Yeah.
Continuing, we'll pick it up as we go. We're
Yeah.
going to cross towards Southampton. I came through Southampton. That was one of the stops.
Some horses coming towards us now.
Mary, that
yeah,
was one of
that's
the
right,
stops.
on the railway.
And Southampton is
You
where
see these horses?
Right. Southampton is where the Queens used to
Dock.
dock.
Well, the QE2 was out last week.
Right. Really. And that tall tower, that's over in Southampton.
That's a Forley electricity generating station, I think.
The Iverney, or something.
Well, they went mostly to Liverpool.
Liverpool, I see. And then the Queens came into Southampton.
Yeah.
Right.
Little harbour on the left.
Oh, yes. Uh-huh. Vacationers.
Well, we think so.
Mm-hmm. It'll be proper. That looks like a little house trailer there, doesn't it?
Uh-huh. Fisherman's cottage.
This place is not as fancy as Yarmouth, is it?
No. Pitsy Patty, where was
Picky Packy up there in Cornwall. Remember on the side of the hill, those houses?
Oh, yes, but we're still in Gurnard.
Worsley Shore Road. Gurnard.
This is another lovely view as you go over this hummock. Have you got it going?
Right.
Some more dolls' houses.
And there is Southampton across the way. And that's the Solon.
And I have to turn. Do you want me to stop a second?
Yeah, you can
Here's
stop
some
for
dolls'
just a minute.
Yeah, aren't they funny?
Oh,
See? Because I have to turn
Yeah.
right here, otherwise we
All
drive
right.
into the sea.
Okay, you go ahead. That looks like an old hotel down there, doesn't it?
It's a nice hotel.
The Woodvale.
It's a dog like Sandy.
Of course, they're using percherons here, aren't they?
A bit like
Doesn't it? It is rough out there.
And there's the hydrofoil out there on its way to Southampton, right?
Yep. Grey building is the Royal Yacht Squadron.
With
The
that,
white end sign. They're the only yacht club that are allowed to fly the white ends.
the only one in the entire
As far as I know.
kingdom, huh?
The world, I think.
And
Right.
that one's
And then-
very posh.
And then this one is also a very smart yacht club. This one with the blue balcony to your left.
London
I've
Yacht
been
Club.
Oh, I have.
Mhm.
I used to have a skipper. Oh, that's on the Gloucester next door. They've got the.
Is that another yacht club?
Well, yes, I should think so. It's the Royal Corinthian, but I should think that's probably the Commodore's flag, unless it's frayed, because it looks as though it has two tails. Up there is Southampton Water. Over there is the Hamble, and
Wait a
over there is Portsmouth and so on.
Wait.
See?
Over here, well, you
Portsmouth
can't
in
see
the far
it,
distance.
but that's Portsmouth in
Yeah,
the distance,
yeah.
isn't it?
And over there
It's-
is Queen Victoria. used to-
Yes, over there is East Cowes, and round the corner is where Queen Victoria used to live, at the Osborne House. But you can't see it from here.
Right, around the
When
corner
you
there.
come for a decent holiday, we'll take you there.
Well, that would be nice. Isn't that the truth?
But when they have
What's
house-
that up on the hill there?
That big house, I just asked Jennifer because I don't know.
That sun is
But
really
this is
nice.
this is
Look
a
at West,
charming little town, Rick, and you need to come and have time to spend.
the Westland Aerospace, they've got,
Yeah, well, they used to build the hovercrafts there.
is that what that is?
Mhm.
They don't do it now, though.
No. Because she said she'd visited him and his wife in
Well,
their
it's
place
not
in
at all
Sussex
good
or
neighbour.
whatever.
He's very, not
Dear.
very nice at all.
Jennifer, where am I allowed to turn now?
Oh. I thought, aren't you allowed to go in there anymore?
Well, it says
No vehicles between 10 and 6. You can go in there.
right, so I can
Right.
drive down here. The man looking in the window.
Mm-hmm.
Down that little alleyway is the way to the Island Sailing Club.
Yes.
This is pedestrianised now, really, Rick. I mean, one doesn't
Except for
normally bring a
this-
car.
Well, this is Sunday, and I guess they don't.
And it's between 6 and 10 p.m. and
Right.
on.
Seems like a little fire station here, but is it, what is it, a church or what? This right here.
It's a home. It's
Is
been
that
a
right?
boathouse or something at some
I
stage,
see.
I should think.
I think that's where we went, where Max Aitken lived. I went to
Yeah, I think it is where Max Aitken used to
an
live.
evening
Yes.
cocktail thing there.
Mhm.
I've been to all these places, you see.
I know, you're very lucky.
She was very lucky. It was
Wow.
absolutely amazing in there.
I can imagine. This is where the red funnel steamer goes from. And the hydrofoil in there.
Terminal,
Yeah.
And they operate out of here.
Yeah. That's the way we
You're
go to
not going
Southampton
to
when we go
anymore?
shopping.
Oh, I see. In other words, from here you're not really cut off. What does it cost to take the hydrofoil over to Southampton? You know,
Nearly £7, isn't it?
£7?
Yeah.
Well, that's about
Yeah.
$10, huh?
Yes, you can go through
$11.
now if you want to.
We're pulling out of the bottom.
Which is better than not being able to start,
Now,
I suppose.
Visit the cows, right? No, we're going back into Garnard. Yes,
That's right.
And that's
Okay.
the church up there behind the
The sun
sun.
behind
The
it.
sun's behind it.
Yeah.
For Betty, who will remember them from Glenkiriog. And they're all along this road for miles. Used to maintain cottages for,
No, the Coast Guard used to live here.
the Coast Guard used to live here.
Yeah.
But they can't have watched the coast here. They must have gone out.
I don't know how much more open the harbour then.
Oh, they're,
The privies.
They used to be, I expect.
well, this is our tool shed. And this, Caroline has a
Sure.
shower.
This
Oh.
is Jenny's little garden.
Indeed, you're afraid because I haven't been here. No. That's a little picture of the scow that my son did.
I see. And that's out at the Yarmouth Pier, isn't it?
Yes, it's where the yacht club is.
As you're coming in.
It's not the Yarmouth Pier, it's the yacht club pier.
Oh, the yacht club pier.
Jetty.
Now tell me all about it.
Well, that's a photograph that her mother took, Jennifer's mother took, of Jennifer's front garden last summer. Isn't that beautiful?
It is indeed.
Yep.
In full bloom. I'll
Yep.
tell you have a lot
And
of
this is the
blooming
back
flowers
garden, you
there.
see.
Right.
And from upstairs you can see the harbour.
Yes.
Do you realise where you are? You know, if we'd gone straight on down the
We'd have
road,
been
we're on
down.
the ring road that goes round, you know, from the harbour.
We'd have been sitting right out in front, wouldn't
Yeah.
we? There's another nice
That's a
picture.
photograph, yes.
And this
Of
looks
Yarmouth
like
Harbour.
the area we were walking in this morning,
Yes.
right? Is it?
Yeah, I should
No,
think-
it's
yeah.
on
This
the
is-
mainland
Is
actually.
it? Yeah.
And this is Yarmouth Harbor. Yarmouth Harbor.
You're going to have a job with reflection.
Yeah, I've
remember,
got too
Rick?
much reflection
Yeah,
on the
it's
window.
not
Yeah, I
worth
can't
taking.
do it.
And then up the stairs is all my first husband's half models as well.
See? All the different boats they
lovely.
built.
Nice.
That's the...
Yeah, that is. Oh,
Well,
excuse me,
sorry.
Jennifer. I see. And he used those lines for boats
Yes.
that he built.
No, he just decided he liked those to hang on the wall. So that's
So-
I think.
He copied the shapes of ones he liked.
Has one of those instant on heaters too, right?
Yes.
Which handles the house heat and the
And
hot
hot
water for
water.
the bath and sink.
and I'll show you my kettle in a minute.
switches itself off when
But
it
that
boils.
switches on and off when it boils, right? And
Yeah.
that's instant heat almost, isn't it?
Yeah, it boils very quickly.
They're nice. That one is quite old though, isn't it, Jennifer? How old would you say the kettle was?
I don't know because John brought it with him.
Been
Oh.
20 years, that one, I guess.
Yeah.
Oh,
And with the-
it's a
this is-
bottle.
And with the gas, you have gas heat here. Because, and he
Well, he gets
makes
free
toast
gas.
up top. And this is a lovely boat, really. Right? All
No,
the
we don't need
spars
to.
and...
I've got more broccoli sprouting than you have. You know, do you want some more?
Mm.
No, it's all right.
I don't think they have a Coast Guard out here anymore, though, do they?
Well,
No.
excuse
Yes,
me,
have a
not
Coast
Guard.
well. Our Coast Guard isn't like your Coast Guard. Our lifeboat men are more like your Coast Guard.
I see.
Our Coast Guards are on the land, and they watch from land, and they have radios.
I see.
They don't go to sea.
Well, how do you rescue people? if you
Well,
don't
we
go
have
to
a
sea?
lifeboat service, the
Uh-huh.
Royal National Lifeboat
Oh, is that
Institution,
here?
and that is all voluntary.
Are they located?
Oh yes. We came before. It was just like ranch fencing here, just a white board. And I bought these banister rails in Liverpool and brought them down and had them put in, which puts it back to how it was when the house was built. So that looks nicer.
It does indeed. Shall we go on up?
Yep.
You can
Take
see
them
the
from the harbour.
yeah, you can see the church.
Mm.
And what is that other high?
It's the
Edifice to the
Methodist
right.
Church.
Oh, one's the Methodist and the other is the Episcopal.
Yeah. This is the first one I wallpapered. This was my first efforts at wallpapering. So,
We didn't get the bed.
oh, I wouldn't worry about that too much.
But did a nice job. I like the border.
Yeah. I was quite proud how I put the border up round that coving. And I cut the little bits of flowers out to make the pattern look as though it was going around the corner.
That's neat.
But you know, this glass is such a pretty pink in daylight, and it doesn't show in this light.
These German figures, you brought those back from Germany? Or?
No, we had them. Oh, we collected them over a period of time. You can buy them in this country.
You suspend the spare. That's neat. I like to see them hanging. We have them sitting on a shelf.
Yeah.
But we'll correct that.
Put the beading on ourselves, you know, to make it look better.
It's more interesting than just having it drop
just a plain,
straight to the floor.
Straight, yeah.
Right. And the shower. Are you going to put a piece around here or not?
No,
you
we don't need to.
Because you've got enough.
We've got it tiled in there, you see, especially.
It's back far enough, isn't it? In a cabinet. From scale.
Oh, child.
Picture in this.
This picture here is an embroidered one that Herbert's mother did. But I think it goes well with that one, which is a watercolour.
Which really is extremely attractive, I think.
It's done with plaster.
With plaster?
You can buy plaster cove.
Oh, plaster cove.
Yeah, not the polystyrene stuff, which marks when you touch it.
Right, but that's all plaster.
Yeah, and you buy it in lengths, but it is plaster.
And set it up there. It's beautiful, really. Or you plan to do something with that, do you not?
Yeah, this one.
This one here on the desk.
Yeah, I've still got two to make for in here. And what I want to do is cover them with silk and then paint the design that's on the wallpaper around the bottom.
That'd be nice.
And then there's my chair, you see, which you saw in the other picture.
See, Mary? See? I think you and Herbert on here. Look.
There's a lovely picture of Herbert.
Right, now I'm going to get Anthony
and Carolyn.
And Carol in a minute.
And then on that wall, I've got the picture we bought in St. Agnes.
You know, I remember that tin mine in Cornwall very well.
You walked up there in the morning, didn't you?
That's right. And there's Anthony. He's done a nice job in here. Really.
And I've upholstered the bed head, and I told you when I did it first, I didn't finish the back. But when I bought my new bed here, I finished off the back, and it's all covered with material. I must show you my ottoman bed.
All right. Oh, isn't that neat? Who would ever know, Mary, honestly?
Isn't that great?
What storage space underneath?
Isn't that fabulous?
That is fantastic.
And you
Who
see,
would know?
Exactly. I reckon I can hide my valuables in there when I go away.
Where did you find this?
It's made on the Isle of Wight.
Really?
Yeah.
That is terrific. Right. What a space saver, too.
But you see, what is so much better about it is a lot of them have these silly little drawers in the bottom.
Oh, yes. But
there's no room at all. Or they have a sliding thing and you have to get on your hands and knees to look.
And you have to pull them out.
Yeah. But that's great, isn't it?
Oh, that's fantastic. That really is. That's great.
This is the lace that I bought in America where I didn't buy sufficient. I bought 8 yards and I should have had 8 meters.
Oh.
So I really need, I think, 10 yards.
You know, it's not 4:38 p.m. here. It's 4:38 p.m. in America. You know what time it is here?
No. 10 o'clock?
It's 10:38.
Oh, it's 10:44.
Well, your clock is fast.
I doubt it.
And I got Herb on here. See?
Yeah.
Isn't that neat?
This is the last picture I took. You can't get that because it's very dark.
All right.
But this is the last picture I took of Herbert, Anthony, and Carola together on
here.
Easy Rider. Anthony and Carola.
His progeny, Anthony and Carola.
The last holiday he had on Easy Rider. It's the last picture I took of the three of them together.
Very last, right?
It was in the September before he died. That's a nice picture.
That's nice. It really is.
Gary had that when he was a student. That drawing board.
This is the guest room.
This is Anthony and Carola's room, they would tell you.
And that's a nice full closet over there.
It's St James's Park on the Mall.
That's lovely.
By
Lovely.
Gainsborough.
You just haven't hung that yet.
No, I haven't found the spot I wanted
Right.
yet. But I bought it in the Frick collection in New York. And I bought another one that was the terrace at Mortlake, which is right, you know, near where Anthony lives. But it was only a smaller size, and I had it framed for him for Christmas. Which he was quite pleased with.
I bet. This is really a delightful room, Mary, and this is on the front side of the house.
Yeah, this looks over the
overlooking-
front garden.
It was so nice to be on the call tonight, and it was nice to talk with Anthony,
Good,
wasn't it?
good,
It really
yes.
was. And John called today, and he's expecting me I'm leaving on the 9 o'clock
Ferry in the
ferry
morning.
in the morning, and I'll be in Waterloo Station about
Midday.
midday, and then on to John's. And
There's only one other thing I'd just like you to take one little picture of.
what's that?
The blinds down in the kitchen.
I will do it. I got the Oast House.
Did you?
It has to be in Kent. Open all day, haven't they? They just go out to the solarium.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Not looking its tidiest, but if you show over there where the curtains are. And they were bought to match the mats Betty gave me. It was pretty.
They are lovely, really. The whole house is so attractive, and having been here, you know,
When it was in its
when it was really
grotty state.
right. That's right. It's just
Yeah.
unbelievable.
Yeah.
It's been wonderful. It's been nice visiting, Mary. Really.
Well, it's been
And I
great to
appreciate
have
your
you. And
hospitality.
I'm,
It's been
I
great.
can't wait for Betty to get here.
Right. We'll get her back here.
With long enough for us to do some other things as well.
That's right. With
In,
more.
in the island, you know, there's so much
Right.
to see
Oh
here.
yes, really, there is. You can
And-
spend a month here and see things,
Oh,
and
yeah.
that's the way you should do it. You
Mhm.
know,
Yeah.
if you go to London, you go for a day. You don't
Oh, it
spend
would be nice
weeks
too
there.
if we could go away on the boat for a couple of nights.
That,
or
that
something.
would be marvelous. So that's sort of a standing invitation, isn't
That's
it?
right.
Right.
That's
You
right.
heard that, Bet. I'm a witness to it, and it's on tape.
Lines all secure. 230 and 0. Secure. Full. 206 and 0. Secure.
Bye-bye. Bye.
The captain of this vessel would also like to draw your attention to the following safety announcements. In the unlikely event of an emergency occurring,
This is a crew exercise. I think they got it going. Yeah, they got her going. That's the crew out there. Whoever digging this is a crew exercise.
our diesel engines in it.
You're going to get that?
Yeah.
You and somebody else.
Yeah.
That's great. Well, folks back in America, here's your English cousin,
Hello there.
Gillan Pegg, and this is his boat, and we're in Hackney.
Just
And
a silly
John and I
thing.
have just driven over from Thamesmead, and John's got Jack over here trying to quiet him down.
That's right. He's a quite handful, isn't he? Old
You
Jack.
better believe it.
Yeah, he is.
He's taken over.
Yeah.
Now, he's got a much better looking boat, and that's Gillan standing up on it. Well, Jack's gone up the stairs. He's in the house.
When they're not drinking Bucks Fizz, they're drinking Pimm's.
Hey, wait. I gotta get that Pimm's in there. When they're not drinking Bucks Fizz.
That's it.
Wait. Being his intelligent self, going on down the street. He's one of those diesels.
It's better than letting, you know, take the tractor off.
This is the Firkin Falcon coming up. There it says the Stout, the Happy Bar. What shall I have, John? Dog bolt. On the 4th of April, 1991.
That house up there is the one we were in first.
Say that again, John?
This house up above us, to the left and
Uh-huh.
up, that's the one we first lived in when we came to Thamesmead.
Oh, now that's not where we saw you the first time.
Yep.
Yes, it is. That's where we have pictures of
Morgan and...
Morgan and Paul from the balcony.
That's it.
Right. That's when David and Janet were with us.
That's it.
I've been in this little shop here on the left. What is this historical place that's opposite the station up here on the side of the hill? You told me about that one time.
Well, it's not exactly opposite the station. Over to the
It's up
right,
there
about
where the
half a
trees
mile away.
are.
There's the ruins of Lesnies Abbey, which is one of the penitential abbeys from the King, Queen Margaret or something, founded to atone for something she'd done wrong.
Look at that beautiful field of flowers down there.
Yep.
And what are they? Those
Daffodils.
are daffodils. Well, you know, our daffodils are out now. I love the way they planted those all in a
Yes,
bunch.
so do I.
It looks like
Yeah.
somebody went in there and sowed daffodils.
Yep. It's a pity you never saw the house in Glencuriog in the spring, because that used to have maybe 4,000 daffodils around it.
Really?
All different kinds. Daffodils and narcissi.
And I never did see it in the spring, did I?
No.
It was in the summertime, but that was back in my working days.
Don't run it today, but the Duke of Westminster still owns masses and masses and masses and masses. I mean, you're talking 4 or 5 billion, his personal estate.
Well, he must be one of the wealthiest people in the world then when you get into
Yes,
the figures.
he's the wealthiest person after the Queen in Britain. But she is fantastically wealthy now, and she's made an awful lot of money in the last 15, 20 years. So I've heard.
Dartford Tunnel.
Okay, we're not going that
We're
far.
not going that far. We've been through that though.
You must have been with someone else when you went through that. No, not been through with me.
That Black Prince, that's an interesting looking.
It's a 1930s roadhouse, as they used to call them.
Did they build that back in the 30s or?
Yes, they built it. Been built about 1930, 35, something like that. That size and style of pub was very popular.
But back then you didn't have all these M roads, did you? I mean, this would have
Yes,
probably been a
but it was.
single lane.
This is the Dover Road, nonetheless. You know,
Uh-huh.
and they were popular with when cars became popular with the well-to-do, and the middle classes had plenty of cars and so on. The young men used to drive out their girlfriends out to the pubs in the evenings, and they had big car parks and big rooms where they could have sort of thé dansants and the like. You know,
Uh-huh.
they called them roadhouses because they depended on the motor traffic to provide them with their custom.
It's about, well, let's see, the time now is, actually it's just 4 o'clock.
Getting close, yes.
3:54. That looks like a water tower of some kind over there on the right, or a fire tower.
Might
See that up
Yeah,
there?
it won't be a fire tower. It might be a water tower, or it might be on the mental hospital. I'm not sure.
Isn't that an interesting scene on the hill there, the towers?
Yes, I think the big building over there is the old workhouse. Probably a mental hospital after that.
I
That's
see.
usually what happened.
Now, a workhouse is where they sent people who had were guilty of misdemeanors.
No, it's where they sent the poor, punished them for not having enough money.
Well, for not paying their rent, and
No,
that-
just for not having enough money.
Oh, well, that's ridiculous. What does that mean?
Well, if you had nothing, then their idea of poor relief was to make sure that nobody went poor on purpose. Was they put them to work on non-work, useless work, paid them a pittance, so they couldn't save to get out of it. It's like Oliver Twist. That's set in a workhouse.
Right. The grass is so beautifully green right now.
Yes, it is.
And ours is just coming in now, from the winter. But we had very mild winter in Virginia, John.
Yeah.
This year, very mild.
Oh, you know what I was saying about this place, Cheltenham, where they had this black candidate standing? I don't know, we got diverted. The thing is, the Conservatives put up this black lawyer to be their candidate, but they were so determined they were going to have him that they bent their own rules in order to get him in there. They had a short list of 1 for selection. So the local members, a lot of the local people, got very upset and uptight about it. Refused to have anything to do with him. And there was an attempt to overthrow the selection and so on, so they got a lot of very bad publicity over it. I mean, eventually the selection was confirmed, but it was not what you'd call a smooth operation. And I suppose really they were afraid that if they put up any white candidate would have beaten him, so they made sure that the shortlist didn't include anyone else. I suppose that was their fear. Hey, he seems to me a
Right,
perfect.
so they ran him on his own.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Sure.
See, what happens is you get the local management committee makes a short list of the applicants for the place, who all have to be approved by Tory Central Office. The Tory Central Office persuaded them only to approve of one of them.
And he ran unopposed.
He ran unopposed. They could reject him or not,
Right,
but
right.
that was.
But they didn't reject him, and that's
They didn't
how
reject
he,
him, but
got in.
then there was some question about the rules of procedure being broken at the selection meeting. So it was a very unhappy lot of people altogether.
I bet. Hastings and Tunbridge Wells. We had the idea we had made an error, but John's instinct had put him right, John?
Looks that
Hey,
way.
look at this tire pile over here. That's quite a collection, isn't it?
Yep. That's where the castle is, or the place is.
I see, and that's the church on the hill.
Yeah.
I don't.
And that's the house.
That's it. How about that? And what is that house called?
Penshurst Place.
And what transpired there? There it says Penshurst Place, 80 yards.
Well, it's you read about it. It's where we're coming to see. It's the one the Sydney's house. Belongs to Lord Delisle.
All right. Open every day except Monday. So we're all right.
Oh, I rang them.
Oh, you did?
Yeah.
I see.
That's how I know you're not going to let you in with that.
Oh, what a hedge, huh?
Yeah,
Beautiful.
bit of topiary, as they say.
It's a shame not to be able to go in. Not even inside the gate, huh?
I don't know.
I can't think
I
of
can't,
it.
I can't tell you. Seriously?
I can walk with it,
Yeah.
and it's smart.
Yes.
It won't show that I'm walking.
No.
This is a beautiful old place in Kent. To the house. They have goldfish here?
Can't see any straight off. Well, I should think so, because I should think those wires keep the herons out.
The broad arrow.
Yeah.
What's the purpose of that, John?
Well, the thing is, you know how in American cartoons they always show convicts in stripes?
Yeah,
In English ones, they always show them in uniforms with that on.
with the broad arrow. Information.
There's a note about a ginkgo tree there. It's that one over there.
That's right, yes.
That's the ginkgo tree. How old did they say that was, John?
They're old plants. Very peculiar.
Beautiful view. Panning back to the house. The nice thing about this, John, see, I can take a still look.
Yeah.
Look in there. See that?
Oh, yes.
Isn't that nice?
Yeah.
Huh?
Yeah, very good. Yes. Yeah.
Beautiful.
Um,
There's John and his brother walking down the lane.
if the sun is striking it, we'll give you the same time. So they got 5 o'clock there from this gnome on down here, and 5 o'clock up here from this one, and round here there's a line going across here, which gives you the time, 5 o'clock. This one round here is out of the sun, so it doesn't
Right,
count.
but it's on three
Yeah.
sides
Yeah.
that you can get the actual time.
Yep.
That's fascinating, isn't it?
Yep. Yeah.
I'm going to get another still here.
You know, if one of them showing the time clearly, you just look for another one and you get the time off it. And they're arranged so that you've got the maximum chance of getting it right. Somebody will have done the sums very carefully for each angle. Yeah, it's okay now. Wheels going round.
Another one of the many gardens.
This whole idea of making it like a little house with room after room after room, you go through room after another.
That's what it amounts to, doesn't it?
You've got red down the middle, white borders, and the blue's represented by the is it lavender? Probably lavender, something like that, yeah. Ones of the family that built this place. They picked it out in Box Hedge. Yeah.
Right there.
Yeah.
To return to
Thamesmead, I suppose.
Thamesmead. Right.
I'll just go through the village and back again, eh?
Oh, that'd be nice. The Leicester Arms.
If you look up through between these two houses,
Are you? It's a nice little village.
isn't it? Yes.
But that's not part of the estate there, is it? That's a private home.
Well, yes. I mean, who knows these days? Could be that they still own the ground rents. It could be that they don't. I don't know. I just don't know what.
Weald, W-E-A-L-D of Kent, right?
That's right. Yes.
That's,
Which is a ridge in between. You've got a saucer shape made by the North Downs and the South Downs with a hollow in between. But in the middle of that, there's this lump of something or other. It might be clay or something like that, called the Weald of Kent. We're on that at the moment. What you were talking about, looking north, was looking towards the North Downs across the intervening hollow.
I've been on the South Downs. There's nice rolling
Oh, yes.
hills, and I went with John and Rosemary.
See that ridge over there is the North Downs.
It's great walking country, if you know what I mean. People like to walk down there.
Yes, if you're allowed.
I love it. Well, that's all right. I got him. There he goes. On their hike. Meeting and greeting.
Well, the City of London, the square mile, is a separate municipality of its own, called the City. And that's where the Lord Mayor of London comes from. He's Lord Mayor of the City of London, that bit between the Tower of London and Fleet Street, roughly, about a mile square. And it's got the Bank of England and Lloyd's and the Stock Exchange and all those sort of buildings in it. And there's about 2,000 people actually live there. But it's got a funny franchise. You have to be a freeman of the city in order to elect anybody. And they have what they call common councilmen and aldermen and Lord Mayor. And they basically represent not geographical areas, but the old city livery companies, which are sort of like medieval trades unions, I suppose, in a way, for for independent tradesmen. And they were arranged as by trades as things like fishmongers and hatters and tailors and butchers and so on. Only the people that belong to them now are not actually hatters or tailors or butchers, they're investment men. But they have ancient rights left over from when they were from the Middle Ages.
Got to be careful walking down through
Yes,
here.
you want to be careful.
Pretty muddy. We'll make it though. He does wheeze, doesn't he? It's been very wet here. Oh, you got one of those reels. That's great. He can do his running. John has got a handful here. This is a puppy. He's about, what did you say he was? 6 months old?
No, he's 11 months.
11 months now.
I hope so. Off you go. I don't know that I want to be on.
I just explained you were giving him obedience training. That dog is as bright as Prudence. Bringing it back to John.
Stay.
What would you say the wind velocity was, John?
Satellite dishes, you can see, are sky satellite dishes, which is the inferior of two possible schemes that started last year. Inferior because it doesn't lead to a high resolution output as television to develop. The other one, which was put out by BSB, British Satellite Broadcasting, had what they called a squarial, which was a more or less square-shaped aerial, which had possibilities of going into the high resolution TV. But they've been bought out by Rupert Murdoch, and so everybody's getting the low grade technically and low grade artistically.
Thank you very much, Mr. Peck. I was just roused and am about to participate in a cup of tea. It's a beautiful day. This is the same room that Betty and I were in when we were here last. This is the view from the window overlooking the garden. The sun is out. It's an absolutely gorgeous day in April 1991. Here I have a still leave for the garden. Are you ready?
Yes, I wanted to. I think you wanted to see those out.
Oh, yes. High Street with John, and we're looking at one of the oldest buildings in Cranbrook, circa in the 1500s.
This was built for the cloth workers, and the place in the corner there, we can see through, there was where they used to take the wool through.
which corner?
Well, this in this the aperture here.
The aperture there is where
Yeah.
they took the wool through.
Yes.
That's really intriguing. And the roof is uneven, isn't it? Even the timbers are uneven on the far right there, John.
Yeah.
With all the birds are twittering. These are tremendous, aren't they? Beautiful.
Yes, actually, we had years or 1800 or something. They had a farm out in Sissinghurst, and they sold it, and the proceeds of that they built the vestry hall.
And that is probably one of the oldest buildings.
No, it's about 1840, I think.
1840. And how about the building next door?
Oh, well, that
slab
would be
wall?
much older.
Much older than that, isn't it? But I love that chimney wing, don't you?
Yeah. As I say, there's a little plaque there about the old market that used to be on that site.
You see the tarpaulins up there. It's now 9:30. It's a lovely blue sky today. I put it on still. So
Yes.
State grown and bottled. This is the UK home that John and I visited on Friday.
take it back to the States, right?
coming to John's.
Not very good on front of those things, are they?
Because the chap that runs or owns Penshurst, is he the heir?
Yes, the family came over, David Westfall, who now runs it. His family came over in
I'm right there on the
50s,
wallaby. And he's right up there in the tree.
from Australia. And to start a vineyard over here. I mean, I think the family they've done quite well in Australia. For some reason, they decided to start a vineyard in Kent.
Oh, that's fascinating.
And he's got some not bad wines, but he's got a little wildfowl reserve. It's only small, and he breeds wallabies, and he's got the odd thing like rears and some
terrific.
lovely old ducks.
Is open on weekends or just
Wednesdays, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday and Saturday.
mostly historical interest, right?
They're mainly agricultural implements.
I see. Is there a fee or is that
Well,
just
it's a-
operated for the
Very
community?
small admission.
I see, just for maintenance. What street is this that we're on?
This is Docky Lane.
30 years. And now he has to give all of this up, and he and Rosemary are moving to Dorset. Is the new residence going to be Lee House, or are you going to leave this? This is a legacy for this home.
Well,
Was this Lee House when
when we
you
bought
moved
it?
here?
Yeah.
Right, lovely home.
The Lee, of course, was at the back. It was all open when we bought the house.
I see.
Yeah.
And you moved that. It was a lovely place. 30 long, beautiful, memorable years.
Yes.
And we're going to move in, and then we're going out into the garden, which John is
That's right.
going to have to give up, and he's going to have to start all over again.
Yes.
The magazines that I would like, and I've put the others on the whole.
Where I can retrieve them
Yes.
and put them in my
That's right, yes. I
backpack.
hope that I've, left some, I hope those will be right for Mary. I've given us each a gardening one and each two of the others.
Oh, marvelous.
Well, I hope
Right.
that's all right.
That will be
Yes.
great. And we're on our way to, are we going out through these doors, or
Well, I think we'll have to go out through the kitchen
Oh, I
because
see.
they're bolted up.
Oh, I
We-
see, for the
Summer hasn't come yet, so we haven't opened.
All right. Boy,
And
the clouds out today are beautiful, aren't
Yes,
they?
aren't they?
And
Lovely.
I think very shortly we're going to have some rough weather. John
So we
and I
better be
predict.
quick. It's just a
Just a work room
greenhouse.
for the greenhouse, right?
And that's We call all this the covered way, you know.
Mm-hmm. This was covered when you came here, or did you have this covered?
No, it was all here.
It was already covered.
But we had it made into a greenhouse this end because it just had linoleum on the floor and it had the coal bunker up here and it was horrible.
You had coal? You burned coal back then?
We do, and logs on the fire.
Oh, I see. Oh,
This
in
is-
other words, those are just big
That-
pieces of anthracite that
This,
you use.
yeah, this is the coal bunker, you see, and it was up this end, and they had there was no window there, and this was a solid door, but we had it made so that we could use it as a greenhouse, and we had this partition made so that, you know, we could keep this end for the greenhouse and that end for, you know,
For just storage.
and in fact, and John grows his tomatoes there. You know, I mean, it's a bit of a mess.
Right.
It was a bit.
You want this on video? I said, do you want this on
No,
video?
it's too
we won't-
untidy.
we won't. And all of these plantings you've put in the 30 years that you've been here.
Yes, yes.
These
It's a-
little, are these gentian?
Those are grape hyacinths, but they're.
And they smell like grape, don't they?
Yes,
do
I
they?
suppose they do. They're a special kind because you notice the tops are lighter than the bottom half.
Mm-hmm.
There's so many different ones.
But there's some that are the same color all the way up, aren't they? There's like
Yes.
little
Yes.
seed cases that hang there below the blossom, right?
Yes.
And you did all these, started
Yes.
all these
Oh,
right
yeah,
here.
yeah. But I'd had some beautiful violets, but they're going over now. And they're just like
They're,
growing in cracks.
they have demised.
I fear they have.
This
'cause
will have a proper and suitable ceremony.
see, they're going over now, but they're lovely, deep, dark violets. They won't come out. Hyacinths,
They're lovely, aren't they?
the little things won't show in the video.
Oh, they will, surprisingly. Oh,
Not
yes.
these little tiny things.
Right, now you have pink hyacinths and red hyacinths.
And a lot of weeds.
Right. Yeah, those are going to show up.
Are they?
Right. You have to edge the garden too, haven't you? That's something you would have done.
Oh, I
Where you
know.
to
I'm
stay,
afraid
huh?
this is my border. I call it, well, it's one of the borders that I'm supposed to keep. It's a self-imposed task, but because we were moving, I didn't do as much as I should have done. And now, of course, we haven't gone, and it looks a mess.
Right. You may probably run out of time to do it, huh? Now,
Well,
here's one that
yes,
doesn't have the darker.
That's right. Those are the
uh,
ordinary ones, yes, the more common ones.
Right.
I had some little tulips in here, but there's
They have departed or demise. And then over here we have yellow daffodils.
Yes. Excuse me a minute. And I'd said, don't do them until the birds have finished with their nest. And he cut them, and I think it's put the birds
That
off.
discouraged them. They didn't
Yes,
return.
I
In
know.
other words, their area was disturbed.
Yes,
and
I said,
they
don't.
won't return.
But he did. Never mind. Aren't I naughty?
John will hear this now. I mean, there are
He
no
will.
secrets
No, he
to this-
knows I told him.
to
you
the eye.
I said he shouldn't. You shouldn't have done it. But never mind. They might go back. These are rather beautiful
They're lovely with the
daffodils called
white-
Bathsheba.
Oh, that's a biblical
they're-
name. Too.
Yes, because they're pale. You know, Bathsheba was King Saul's awful sin, wasn't it? Do you remember?
No, remind me. I mean,
Well, it was Bathsheba was the beautiful wife of, I forget the name, Uriah, was it? And David liked Bathsheba, and he sent her husband off to battle.
to war. That's right.
And he was killed.
And her husband was killed. That's right.
Yes, and
He
then
was
the
interested
Lord,
in her.
you know, rebuked him.
I recall that now.
Yes.
It's recognition, you know. Or
Yes.
I recall. I couldn't recall it, but I recognize the story. What are these little lavender?
Ribes, that is. It's a sort of flowering currant.
Uh-huh.
It doesn't have any fruit.
Right, you
but-
don't eat them, they're just flowers.
Yes.
Right.
And these narcissus are called John Evelyn. Evelyn. Evely, John Evelyn.
That's a good old English name. I mean,
Yes.
that's a male name, surprisingly.
Actually,
You know, that
yes.
surprises me because in Virginia they follow that practice too. They have
Yes.
so many men with girls' names.
Yes.
You know, the Shirleys and all that
Isn't
kind of
that
thing.
strange?
It is
Yes.
weird.
And
And then
girls
we also
with
have girls
men
with the
names.
men's names. You
I
know, the
ha-
Douglases and the, you know,
Yes.
really, it's interesting.
And I have a cousin called Vivian, and she spells it. It is also a man's name, but she spells it in the man's way. Vivian, and it's for a girl. It's usually En
Right, that's
or
correct.
Vivienne with a double N.
And
I
your
don't know.
vegetable garden is back here because I can see some of the.
Yes, gooseberries and
Mhm.
currants.
Right.
Red currants are best.
Now you could take some of this with you.
Some of this which
Well, you
Well,
know, I mean, some of the
I'm going to take a lot,
a lot
but
of it
I'm
with you.
afraid I can't take it all.
take it all, but
Unfortunately,
I mean, you'll have to spot it. I see you have a
Yes.
compost pile
yes.
back there
These
from your
little
grass
yellow
cutting.
tulips, I planted those last autumn because I thought they would make a nice show in these little borders,
Oh,
and that
yeah.
the people coming into the house would enjoy them. But of course, they'll be over
By the time they get here,
John
right?
says, you know, they won't care. I don't know, they
Well, no,
might.
these things, everyone enjoys, as they say.
Yes.
The poet said, "The thing of beauty is a joy forever." Now, of
Yes.
course, it demises,
Yes.
unfortunately, so it can't be a joy forever. But the thought,
They'll
you
have
know,
them
just the
next
memory,
year.
and they'll
though.
have them next year. What are these little porcupines down here?
They're pinks.
They flower later, don't they?
Yes,
Right.
about June.
Uh-huh.
Yes.
Mary has quite a garden,
Yes.
you know, established down there
How
at
lovely.
McKinley,
Yes.
and I'm going to be able to show her the nice things that you have here.
Oh well, sometime I'd like to see her. Nice
Well, you'll
thing.
be close by, you know, in
Yes,
Dorset, right?
But we'll be nearer.
What is
yes.
the name of the little town in Dorset?
It's a little village
A
called
village.
Shipton Gorge,
Oh.
and it's about 4 miles from Bridport, which is a market town.
Uh-huh,
A very nice market town.
uh-huh.
You'll have a new environment to come to next time.
Well, that'll be interesting. Now,
Yes.
there's a gorge that I know of.
Cheddar Gorge?
Well, that's one, and then there's another one. There's a bridge over it, and it's in. Is it in Portsmouth? Oh, where is that gorge? It's in one of the coastal cities.
There's a sort of gorge in Hastings. It's all sort of valleys, you know.
Right? Is that what that is? Is
I
there a
don't
bridge
know.
over that gorge, or just named gorge?
It's not called a gorge, as far as I know.
Because you grew up in that area, didn't you? Or you have family out there?
Down, you mean in Dorset?
Yeah.
Yes.
Right. Isn't
yes.
that nice? That's a home.
Well-
You'll be going home.
That's right, yes.
That's
yes.
nice.
Yes. These tulips, I don't remember even putting them in. And I don't know what colour they are, but they look as if they're red, because there's some down here.
Well, that's
And
nice.
Cowslips.
They're virgin births.
I don't know whether they're what they are, you see. I don't even remember planting them.
Huh.
And I've got some little ones here too. I must have put quite a lot in. I forget what I do
When?
from one autumn
To the next. Oh,
I don't
I
remember.
think this happens to all of us.
Yes.
Did you put in the hedgerows? These huge.
Yeah.
Did you start
when-
all of those,
Well, yes.
or were they here when you
No,
came?
they weren't.
You put every one of them in.
Well,
And
when
then-
we bought the house, we were still in Africa, and we had a gardener came and planted them while we were still abroad. You know, the house agent was a friend of ours at that time, and he had it done for us. But we had a whole lot of fruit trees here, but there's only one left of the
And that's
original.
the one standing.
We had
Alone.
one, yes. Some died, and one we had cut down, and then that's all there is left.
And you put those up every year, don't you? Or do you just?
Yes. Do you see that's had to be propped up?
Oh
John
yes.
had to put that great stake.
Well, it's good that he did because that was about the fall. That's a leaning apple
Yeah.
tree.
The roots all came out.
Yeah,
That
like-
was the hurricane.
And he saved it, didn't he? He
Yes.
propped it up. That's as far as it went, isn't it?
Yes.
Right. He'd need a cable to pull that back. You know, I imagine from time to time the trees that go over, if the root
Yes.
structure has not been damaged too much, they will pull them erect. And this happens in a high wind, particularly when it's preceded by heavy rains, because the ground is gets so soft.
Yes.
To keep the birds off of.
Yes.
What kind of berries do you have in there?
There are red currants. I make red currant jelly every year. There are gooseberries, and we always have lots of gooseberries. And there are black currants, which never do very well at all. Isn't it funny? They don't seem to like it.
Maybe the soil is the wrong
Could be.
pH. Huh?
I expect it's something to do with the soil. Yes.
Right.
That
Or
he-
what do you
yeah.
call those tubs? Those ceramic bowls,
Oh,
pots.
those
Those ceramic
pots.
right?
There-
Those came out
those
of the
are-
pots, didn't they?
yes, but actually they did. But those are covering the rhubarb. I'm
Oh.
going to have a look at the rhubarb, and then when I take them out, I put them in the next autumn. I put them in the garden, and they do quite well.
They're doing quite
Yeah.
well, and you got some nice colors there, like
It's a
pink
lovely
and
dark
lavender
blue,
and,
that,
and
yes.
blue. That is. They're
That
very
dark
lovely.
blue is a beautiful colour, really. Sort of indigo.
How are you, sir? Going to get something done before the storm.
Yeah.
And here, now you see all these leaves, and a great big dandelion coming up.
That's lovely.
But that's
This
all
is a
little pink.
cultivated dandelion, British style.
But in the
Did
autumn,
you plant that dandelion?
I think
kid.
not. All these leaves are the leaves of the little cyclamen that come in the autumn, and they're pink and white ones, and they're really lovely.
Lovely. You
But there
have
was a
something
tree-
blooming every week of the year. You're never without bloom.
No, and that was a cherry tree there, but it got killed in. We had a very hot, dry summer in 1976, and after that, I think we had a cold winter, and it just killed it.
Just destroyed it. Didn't it? Those were rough times.
Yes,
Weren't they? And this is a nice view of the house. From
yes.
Here, I'm going to put it on still, as we call it. And now you can continue to talk. And I've got a still picture. You want to see the house? Just look in there, Rosemary. Can you see the house?
Yes,
See,
I
it's-
can.
You notice it's standing still. I've got the house captured permanently.
Good.
See that? It's just a snapshot. So I think we've done all of the garden, haven't we?
I think we have, yes.
Right?
As our neighbour's busy.
Yeah, both neighbors are
Doing
busy
his
out. He's
lawn. Yes.
fertilizing, isn't he?
Pardon?
Is he fertilizing?
Yes.
Yeah.
Fertilising the lawn.
Right, all these.
I would have, when he was up here, I was going to say, perhaps you'd like to meet him, but anyhow.
And oh yeah, let me put this on. We want to see what that looks like underneath there. Oh, that
Coming.
rhubarb. Take that with you, aren't you?
The rhubarb?
Yeah. I mean, you
I
know,
don't know.
put it
That's-
in a bowl and take it along.
Yes, if we can.
Right? You haven't gotten it all. Now you got it all, just
Yeah,
about.
yes.
It's doing well,
Doing quite well.
isn't it? Oh, and if you didn't have those pots over them, keeping it warm,
Yes.
because it will be with us. John
Yeah.
says at the rate it's moving. Do you think, are we going to be inside or outside or
Well, we are going to be outside. So,
outside? Maybe
yes.
we had better move out. What are
I think-
these lovely blossoms right here that have dropped?
Those are
Are there-
fritillaries, but they're commonly called crown imperials. They're very handsome, aren't they?
They're lovely. really.
Yes, yes, I'm very fond of it. And I have some Madonna lilies here.
Where are these lilies?
Well, they're not out,
They're
of
not
course,
out,
because they don't bloom until about July.
Oh, I see. Right here.
Yes, yes, but they're beautiful Madonna lilies.
Oh,
And these tulips very.
Madonna lilies right there, and the tulips, of
Yes.
course.
Well, these tulips,
These
the
will be
very
blooming.
long, you see the very long pointed
Mhm,
one?
mhm.
Well, when we were staying in, with these friends I told you about, and we went to Belgium, we were in a little Belgian market town, and there was a great stall full of, because it was in October, there was a stall absolutely full of bulbs. And I saw the picture of them, you see, and they're called Aladdin's lamp. And I said, oh, how lovely, I must get some. And Hendrik insisted on buying them for me.
And you brought them home?
Yes, and this is
planted
about
them?
the 4th year.
Well, that's marvelous.
And
I wish we
also,
could transport these to America, but you can't take any
not
livestock or
allowed
any
to.
plants, unfortunately, or
What
we'd
a
have them
shame.
growing in Virginia.
Can't-
I know
yeah.
you do.
and the others are Princess Margaret, and they're sort of yellow and red. And
Those
he
are the
chose
those are the shorter ones.
Yes,
the
he
fatter
chose
ones.
those for me and bought, I think he bought me about 20 of each. It was very
That
generous.
is nice.
But anyhow, I was spoilt. And then you see, when this is out, this beautiful double peach, and I've got a photograph of it somewhere.
It gives
that
you
John
some
took.
nice some nice blooms when it.
It looks so lovely with the
Uh-huh,
blossom
right.
and the tulips.
Uh-huh.
And John photographed it, but I can't find the photograph. I expect it somewhere
You'll
because
have to
I'm.
come back one day and get one when it can bloom so you can frame it, huh?
I'm trying to make an album of this garden. You
Well, it's
see.
a lovely garden. When you think of how much time
So-
you sort of, you know, it's not trite, but parting is such sweet sorrow. You're going to miss what
I
you've
know,
done here.
yes.
These are lovely, aren't
Those
they?
are anemone pulsatilla, and I originally grew them from seed. And
Beautiful.
we had a whole lot in the front once, but we gave some away, and then what was left, we moved. And so, because they were becoming too big in the front. Primula. Primula. Somebody gave those to us. And one of them is orange. It's most
Huh.
extraordinary.
Is that unusual for a
Yes,
concept to be
yes.
orange?
I
That
don't
is
know.
orange.
Yes. I don't know why
That is unusual.
But it's very windy here, and things don't like it. That's a little clematis, which has got buds on it.
And that will be coming into bloom.
And that I bought in the market at Bridport about 3 years ago, and so it'll probably be going back there.
Oh, man. All of this work. And these climbing the wall
Oh,
are
that's japonica.
japonica.
It has fruit. Yes.
I'll in time be very well versed on flowers.
Yes. We had a clematis, a pink clematis there, Montana, and I told John he'd killed it because he cut it down so drastically.
That's me. I have to have Betty out there
I
because
want
I'm the
Betty.
big cutter. You know, I don't go cutting now unless she's there.
No, John does.
What
all
is
the
that little
cutting.
four-petaled affair on the
This?
wall? Yes.
That's winter jasmine, and in the winter it's full of yellow bloom.
Oh, all just covered with yellow bloom, huh?
Yes.
There's not many on it right now. In other words, it has bloom.
It's had its time.
It's bloom for the season. It's had its time.
That's right.
That's not a flower for all seasons, then.
No, and you know that all that noise we hear through the wall.
That's the birds and the
Yeah, it must be sparrows.
in this cage here,
In that box.
in that box right there. They are quite noisy. I thought they were in the chimney.
I wonder if they are.
That's what it seemed like.
Oh dear, that's serious.
What are these now climbing the trellis? You said japonica?
Japonica,
Japonica.
and it's called Japonica apple blossom.
And with that sun on them, they're going to really be lovely when we look at
Yes. There's an old fruit got stuck up here.
Ah, yeah.
Very rotten.
Right, that is. It looks like an old whatever, huh? This was lovely. Yeah, see the
Oh, there. Oh,
blossoms.
isn't it beautiful?
What is that
Well,
now?
I don't know. I think it's a prunus of some sort. It's beautiful every year,
It's lovely.
but it's got thinner. There's not so much of it as there was, I don't know why. It's a beautiful sight, yes. Little daffodils are called dove wings, and they were produced or hybridized by a man who lived in Cranbrook. He died some years ago, and his name was Cyril Coleman, and he used to exhibit at the daffodil shows in London.
This was his hobby, was raising
Yes,
daffodils.
yes. And he particularly specialized in the cyclaminius ones, the ones that the petals
Would
recurve.
curve back?
Yes.
Right.
And I bought those, well, they've been there about 2 years now, but they've increased a lot. And I'm very fond of them.
And you got the yellow ones, and then
Yes.
you had some of these over there, didn't you?
Yeah, but those are different,
yeah, they're
you see,
different,
they're
uh-huh.
not the same. And he also had several different ones, and one was called Jenny, after his first wife. I'm not sure, I haven't got any Jenny, but, and there was another one, what was the other one called? I can't think now, but there's several of them, and they're really so delicate.
They are. They're lovely,
Yes.
though, aren't they?
Yes.
Aren't they beautiful? I mean, to see everything in
That's
flower.
white violets there.
Really? Yeah. The little wild ones that just volunteered. In other words, when you say
I
wild,
might have put them in there originally, but they grow wild.
right?
you
In
know.
other words, the wind carries the
Yeah,
seed.
things seed all over the
And
place
they'll
in this
seed all over.
garden. Yes. Look at
Because
this
you've got
little,
the flowers over here.
look at this little thing.
What is this?
I had a lot of those, but they don't flower very freely. And of course, this was a mass of crocuses.
Castle in Kent.
Yes, it probably is.
AWE.
There's the River Rother just along here, so you might
The River Rother.
you might like to take the photograph of that later on.
That would be nice.
That's right, yes.
Oh, I do very well indeed, and I've always been intrigued by the fact that here you call the rivers the River Rother and the River Dee and the where we say the Potomac River and the James
It's the other way
River.
around.
Yes.
And that's supplied by a river. That's a spring.
Yes.
That boat.
Where the drawbridge was, yes.
And the people up on the top.
Sussex.
East Sussex.
Yes.
Bodian Castle.
Bodian.
Bodian.
Right.
We're not going to go in because John, Rosemary, and I have been up on the ramparts before. But this has been restored, and it is in the National Trust. Over the door are 3 coats of arms, and I'm going to begin on them momentarily.
Sussex, I've got a little coat of arms of Sussex, isn't it? With beautiful birds.
Yes. Yes, that's the Sussex one.
With the wind chill factor, it feels
high.
as if it's around 32. But John's using Fahrenheit, and I know the British like to use centigrade.
Celsius.
Celsius.
Yes.
Oh, it's Celsius.
Yes.
Used to be centigrade.
Yes, we said
Right.
yes.
And this is Castle Inn over here. We're going to have a pub lunch very shortly, so I'm ready to stack my equipment.